What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. We are massive Joe Rogan fans on this program. Joe Rogan's often right about things. When he's wrong, he corrects himself. Very honorable, very good thing to do. But Joe Rogan nailed it and caught a load of hell for this commentary about the Arizona election system, saying that Kari Lake was robbed.
How much election fraud do you think is real?
Here we go, Joe. You want to go to election fraud?
Yeah, because I don't think it's zero.
No,
It's
no
not
way.
zero. I think we could all agree it's not zero.
No way it's not zero.
And we know that these voting machines can be f***ed with.
Yeah.
And we know
Yeah.
that there's some irregularities.
Oh, man.
All that Kari Lake stuff in Arizona
Yeah.
that they're trying to dismiss, it doesn't look like that's invalid. It looks like there's real fraud there. It looks like there's some real shenanigans there. At the very least, there was voting machines that weren't working properly, and it seems very suspicious that a lot of them were in Republican areas. There's a lot of shenanigans. And I think there's coordinated efforts to make sure that certain people get elected.
So Joe Rogan said that months ago. He said that in June. And what have we now learned breaking today? At least 56,000 federal-only ballots cast in Arizona 2020 election without U.S. citizen proof. Arizona is one of the only states to have bifurcated elections, says Arizona Assistant Attorney General Jennifer Wright. So what this means is that there is a federal-only ballot in Arizona for only the federal candidates, and that people voted illegally who were not American citizens. Let's read. More than 56,000 federal-only ballots were cast in the 2020 presidential election in Arizona without proof of U.S. citizenship required by the voters who cast them, according to data from the state's counties. So where's your source, Betty? Well, the state itself, okay? Which is right now run by Democrats, maybe because of this. Arizona is a state with an unusual stipulation of bifurcated elections in which residents who provide proof of U.S. citizenship can vote in all elections, while the others may vote in federal-only elections, resulting in ballots cast by voters who haven't proven U.S. citizenship. Arizona law requires residents registering to vote in the state to provide proof of U.S. citizenship. However, after the Supreme Court ruled in 2013 that Arizona must accept U.S. voter registration forms based on federal requirements under the 1993 Voters Registration Act, the state allows residents registering to vote who don't provide proof of citizenship to receive ballots for federal-only races. Federal voter registration forms require those filling them out only a sworn declaration that they are U.S. citizens. When residents of Arizona register to vote or update the registration in the election system, their driver's license registered to verify whether they have proof of citizenship. Those without documentation are ineligible to vote in state elections, are registered as federal-only voters. It's totally weird. Like, why would you do this? Like, so you can commit fraud in just federal elections? Like, your senators, both your senators and your House elections are very important as well, obviously, and the presidential election. Last year, Arizona enacted a law that requires counties to check federal-only voters for citizenship against multiple databases. The counties must reject any federal applications if they find the individual is not a U.S. citizen. The Justice Department sued Arizona over the law in 2022, claiming that this is a textbook violation of the National Voter Registration Act, according to the Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark of the agency's Civil Rights Division, who is just a muppet in order to ensure that as many illegal people vote as possible, and that they lock up grannies who are protesting Planned Parenthood instead of actual terrorists in this country. Kristen Clark is an evil, evil goblet. The agency also claims that the law violates the Civil Rights Act. The former Arizona Attorney General Jennifer Wright told Just the News on Thursday that she believes Arizona is one of the only states to have bifurcated elections because the U.S. Elections Assistant Commission didn't allow the states to require driver's licenses for voter registrations, despite other states having the requirement. Fascinating. So now we're finding out that a bunch of non-citizens voted in Arizona's election. At least 5,697 federal-only ballots were cast in the 2020 presidential election in Arizona, most of which came from Maricopa County. Oh, of course. Some of the counties specified as to whether the federal-only ballots cast will be accepted. The 2020 presidential election showed that Donald Trump, with 10,000 votes less than Joe Biden in the state, so this could absolutely make up the margin of error. So this is these are the federal-only voters that are casting ballots in all of these counties in Arizona. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. And it is not just Arizona, of course, who has a tough time counting their ballots. And by the way, I got to tell you, like I just saw Kari Lake this weekend, and it's so unbelievably sad what happened to Kari Lake. And I've watched it, I witnessed it firsthand. Again, I've done reports I was doing reports from on the ground there in Maricopa County. Item number one, why is Argentina able to count 27 million ballots in one night, and Arizona can't count like 750,000 in a time span of 3 weeks? Two, I saw the voter lines in Maricopa County. I was in Maricopa County on election day in 2022. I saw the voter lines out the block, out the buildings, and around the corners. I saw the frustrated voters. I saw the Republican areas. I went to these neighborhoods, and I witnessed it with my own two eyes. Now it turns out that they had the wrong paper size. Well, how's that happen? Who did that? Who makes those decisions? This is why Kari Lake is suing. The Justice Department sues Arizona over voter citizenship law. The DOJ argues the requirement is textbook violation. So again, Joe Biden is suing Arizona, a state that is requiring only U.S. citizens vote in U.S. elections. Is it showing you where they're going here? This is like obviously showing you. Now there's a bunch of big blue Democrat cities that are saying you don't have to be an American citizen to vote in our elections. You just have to live here. Oh, baby. That's the next step. That is the next step. And by the way, of course, Arizona is one of those border states where you get all the viral videos of people just flooding into the state. What is the goal? The same goal that worked in California. Flood the state with illegal criminal migrants, give those criminal migrants federal goodies in exchange for fealty to the Democrat Party forever, and a voting bloc that never moves. Therefore, disenfranchising Americans who were born here or who got naturalized legally. Ladies and gentlemen, that's called stealing votes. So the Biden administration is suing Arizona because they're requiring you be a U.S. citizenship. You can see here proof of citizenship requirements for voting. This is from the Secretary of State, ill-begotten Secretary of State website here. If you have an Arizona driver's license or non-operating identification card issued after October 1996, you will only need to list the license number on box 9 of the voter registration form. So, there you go. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it's done. This is why it's so good that base judges around the country, and I say base, like these judges, for all I know, are Democrats, are just throwing out elections. In Louisiana, there was an election that a Democrat won by one vote, and the judge just tossed it out. Said, I have no way of figuring out who won this election. 2 people voted twice. At least 5 votes were cast by absentee mail-in ballots, which should not have been counted for failure to comply with the law. That could be illegal immigrants voting. 4 invalid votes cast by interdicted persons who were unqualified voters. That could be dead voters. That's what I read that as, dead voters. We'll see as this is litigated. But at least 11 illegal votes were counted in a race that was won by 1 vote by the Democrat. So the judge said, see ya. Judge nullifies Louisiana election. A Democrat won by 1 vote after discovering fraudulent ballots. Well, now they're discovering thousands of people who have not proven their American citizenship voting in Arizona. Nearly 6,000 of them. Insane. In Connecticut, a judge sets a new primary date for the mayoral race tainted by alleged ballot box stuffing. It's not alleged. I mean, I get that you're the AP and you need to cuck for the system. This isn't alleged. This is literal ballot stuffing. That's what's happening here. Literal ballot stuffing. That's what's happening here. You are watching the Connecticut race be stolen. Why do I care about these things? Well, I care because it has ramifications for all of us when our election systems are broken. And our election systems are broken. I just showed you in Connecticut, the bluest county in Connecticut, right? A blue state where judges are throwing out elections. Here in Iowa, a red state in a very red area of Iowa, here's a woman that caught a case for 52 counts of voter fraud charges. Why? Well, because, same as in Arizona, there was just no system in order to ensure that the paper ballots that are mailed to people are secure. It should be excruciatingly hard to get an absentee ballot. You should have to be sent to war. Hi, my name is Joey. I'm serving overseas in combat. I need an absentee ballot. Okay. That should be how you get an absentee. Hi, my name is Meemaw. I am dying of cancer in the hospital. I cannot make it to the polling location. Here's proof. Okay, we'll send you a single ballot. But in a world where they're like, just mail ballots out to everyone, this is what happens. Kim Taylor, the wife of an Iowa County supervisor, was found with 52 counts of voter fraud, concluding a months-long case into her interference in the 2020 election. Pretty incredible. It's always the 2020 election, isn't it? Over here. So we go from blue state to red state to blue state here in New Jersey. Paterson City Council president facing new charges in election fraud case as new details of conspiracy and alleged witness tampering are uncovered. What happened in Paterson? Well, the president of the Paterson City Council, a guy named Alex Mendez, removed the mail-in ballots from the mailboxes, opened them up. This is the candidate and his wife and his team opened up the mail, checked who you voted for, threw away the ballot if they didn't like who you voted for, wrote their name in on a fraudulent ballot, stuffed it, and sent it in. And this guy won. They did this thousands of times. So, what do you, leave it to me to say, hey, listen, we got to listen to Kamala Harris here. I know. Yeah, you heard that right.
To audit, but also what they can do around best practices and best machinery. We are talking with them about the fact that it is probably best that you do not have your election system connected to the internet, because that will create greater vulnerabilities. And then look at where we are now in this year of our Lord 2018. We're talking about paper ballots, but that actually might be one of the smartest systems. Going back to, a day when we could have something tangible that we can hold on to, because Russia cannot hack a piece of paper like they can a computer system connected to the internet.
Paper ballots given to you by a little granny that checks your driver's license. That's how you vote on one day, on voting day. How common sense is this? Obama-appointed judges are saying that these election machines need to be thrown out. Constitutional challenge to Georgia voting machines set for trial early next year. An Obama judge effectively saying, Amy Totenberg is her name, U.S. District Judge Amy Totenberg, issued a 135-page ruling on Friday in the long-running lawsuit filed by activists who want the state to ditch its electronic voting machines in favor for hand-marked, hand-counted ballots. Totenberg said there are material facts in dispute, and it must be decided at a trial, saying that it may actually interfere, electronic voting may interfere with your constitutional rights. Wow. It spawned an expert report that identified vulnerabilities in the election systems used by Georgia that led to a federal cybersecurity agency to issue an advisory to two jurisdictions that used the equipment and prompted some Georgia Republicans to call for abandoning the machines. Goodness gracious, what time do we live in? Meanwhile, over in Pennsylvania, machines are switching votes. Voting machine trouble in Pennsylvania triggers alarm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got problems. What's happening here? Well, in 2019, in Northampton, in Pennsylvania, Swing County in Pennsylvania, a programming glitch caused the machines to undercount votes. This year, a programming glitch caused the machines to switch votes for voters. So you vote for the Democrat, you get a Republican vote. Or you vote for a Republican, you get the Democrat vote. Boy, can't see this ever being utilized for evil. This is just one of many, many, many issues with American electoral systems that need to be fixed. There need to be muscular lawsuits filed against certain systems and against certain practices that interfere with our constitutional rights to a free and fair, clean election. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for anything that weighs a Republican or a Democrat one way or the other. I'm a Republican. I'm used to losing every election. But win fair and square and show me the proof that you won. This is what is most important. Instead, all you can show me are clips like this on CNN, where they literally catch ballot stuffing in the
ballot
in action.
drop box in Cuyahoga County, Ohio.
Oh.
You can see this woman right here casting her vote. Did you vote for Reagan or Jimmy Carter?
Carter.
Carter. Okay. We don't want to get
Look at the number of ballots she's got. Look at that. She's got like this publisher's clearinghouse full of ballots. That is not the way elections should look in America. There shouldn't be nearly 6,000 people that can't prove whether they're a U.S. citizen in Arizona voting, at least. It's a broken system, man, and we're here to fix it. Stay based. It's your boy Benny. See ya.